the video I've been thinking about making all week, as 1 year has passed since I recommitted myself to my health, and I have done sporadic videos on YouTube about it. Last year I was more or less sedentary. I was still not at the highest weight I've ever been, but I definitely did not feel healthy. I didn't feel like I was doing the best for my body, for myself. And so I recommitted. I had a certain goal. I went back and I watched that video, which I will try to make this one a response to. And I can see immediately that there's a difference in my face. I have dropped some weight. I'm not going to tell you how much quite yet. But in that video, I had kind of in a disorganized fashion laid out some goals that I wanted to accomplish this year in terms of my health. Disgusting. They need to put some milk over by the coffee bar in this place. Anyway, I had said that I wanted to be more physically active and to gain some more energy and not to be sitting around so much, because I was living a sedentary lifestyle, and I wanted to start to get out of that and get back into being healthy, fit, and active like I had been when I very, very first started YouTube way back in 2008. And so in this past year, I did a lot of exercise. In the spring of 2012, I had a gym membership to a Planet Fitness, and even though I had a really hard life, like traveling an hour and a half each way to school and being there all day and being tired, I did go to the gym. I used their gym. It was $10 a month, which is great, and no like yearly contract or anything. It was like on a monthly basis. So I started with that. Once I moved to Philadelphia, I started to attend the free Zumba classes that the university offers, and I got really into it, and now I'm like, I call myself La Reina de la Zumba because I am the queen of Zumba in my classes, and I really enjoy it a lot. I love dancing, and I learned how to dance in that class. And also in my apartment complex, there's a gym, and I've been using it every morning. Now it's Saturday, so I don't have myself committed to a gym workout at 6 a.m. like I do during the week. But I do wear my Fitbit, and I know on the weekends, because I don't have an obligation to go outside of the apartment complex, that means that my physical activity is down. So I went and I worked out, and now I'm done with that and I feel great. So I did accomplish my goal to be more physically active in this past year. And in that video, I had weighed myself that morning. It was January 28th. 2013. I weighed 238.4 pounds, and today, when I weighed myself, I weighed 225.8 pounds. Now, it's not like a huge amount of weight for someone to lose in a year. I know I could have lost more. However, I'm satisfied with it because as I have gone through this process of losing and gaining weight a lot over time, what I've learned is not so much the pounds that you lose, or that I have something dramatic to come on here and report to all of you, but it's the learning process. And that is something that I am also going to commit myself to this year. Instead of having a goal of a certain amount of weight that I want to lose, as I've seen, just becoming more physically active as my goal from last year, the weight has come off just on its own, the weight that was not supposed to be there in my pursuit of a healthy lifestyle. This next year, I want to focus myself on eating, but more specifically, I do recognize that I have an eating problem. I don't know if there's a name for it. I have a hard time describing it, but I think that I don't know how to eat right or correctly, and I want to start correcting that. And I'll give you an example from this past week. Because I started to tell myself that I have a food addiction, and that at night I eat a lot, and I want to keep eating until I go to bed. And I like to go to bed with a full stomach. During the day, in the morning, though, when I started to sit down and look at the quantities I was eating and when I was eating them, I would go out to the gym and work out, and then eat like a light breakfast with a little bit of fruit and maybe half a cup of oatmeal. And my lunch would not be as light, it would be a little heavier, but it was still too little calories. So, of course, by the end of the day, I'm starving. I come home and I eat a lot, and I feel bad because I feel like I have this food addiction and I can't control myself. I can control myself, but I have to be more thoughtful about how I eat. So, that's one of the things that I'm going to focus on this year. Um, Towards the end of the week, I did start to move more calories towards the middle of the day. I had a really great lunch, especially like Wednesday on. I had a balanced lunch and I made sure I had eaten well and eaten enough. And then when I came home in the afternoon, I would have a snack like a tomato or an apple. I have one or two snacks like that. And then I wouldn't eat until dinner time, and I set dinner time to 8 o'clock, and I found that that really worked for me, and I didn't feel like I was losing control of myself. I felt like, no, I've already eaten, I know how much I've eaten, um, and that was it. So I'm very glad to share my experience with you with that, and I intend to learn more about eating this year and how to feed my body properly. My roommate, she has a specific diet because she has a gluten allergy. And one of the things she was telling me is that she started to follow the paleo diet last year. And, I went to the website, I did a little Googling. I don't know that much about it, but what it looks like is it's, going back to a diet that our ancestors, way back would have eaten. So things that we would have had access to in nature. And it's basically you want to stick to like fruits and vegetables and meats and kind of stay away from carbs. So she did that also as a means to, in terms of her gluten allergy, to address which kinds of gluten she was allergic to more than others. Like she would introduce then one type of bread or rice 1 month to see how her body would react to it. I'm thinking of trying that, so I'm gonna do more research on it though first before I commit myself to it. Let me see, that was like distracting. I saw somebody there. The last thing I wanted to say is that I have been making videos in Spanish because that is part of who I am. And I intend to use this channel to explore that aspect of myself and of my personality and of my interests. I'm also starting to build a Spanish-speaking audience. That's my goal. I may talk about dieting in Spanish. I thought about committing to putting subtitles on them, but I think that is going to be a little time-consuming, and I'm sorry if you don't speak Spanish and if you don't understand. And I hope you would learn a little bit. When I do have time, though, I will put subtitles. And yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say for today. I feel really good about this video. I guess I'll see you next time. I really have nothing else to say. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.